Hey guys, today we're going to check out the Ascendancies here in Path of Exile 2 from a new player's perspective, and we're going to see if we can decide what class we're going to play. So I'm sort of leaning towards either Ranger or the Sorceress, as they are kind of the two archetypes that I enjoy playing in general, but I'm not opposed to choosing a different class. So if you have a suggestion for a new player, drop it in the comments down below. But let's get into it. We're going to go to the Sorceress first, just in order that they've listed them on the website. So the Stormweaver. Scouring winds, exposure you inflict lowers the affected resistance by additional 20%. So it sounds like a nice debuff there. Tempest Caller grants the skill Elemental Storm. This creates a stationary fire, cold, or lightning storm at the target location for a duration based on the highest elemental damage type of the hit that triggered this storm. So that sounds pretty powerful. Elemental Storm has 150% more cooldown recovery rate. Targets can be affected by 2 of your chills at the same time. Your chills can reduce action speed by up to a maximum 35%, 25% less magnitude of chill you inflict. So I'm going to have to learn a bunch of these keywords, but it sounds like chill is another type of debuff. I'm not sure if it does like dot damage or something like that, or maybe it just slows, because it does mention the action speed there. A Shaper of Winter, all damage from hits contributes to chill magnitude. Strike twice. Targets can be affected by 2 of your shocks at the same time. 50% less shock duration. All damage from hits contributes to shock chance. Okay, you have Arcane Surge, which is Arcane Surge grants 10% more cast speed and 20% more mana regeneration rates. Number 9 of here is Force of Will. 1% increased effect of Arcane Surge on you per 15 maximum mana. Wait, hold on. 1% increase effect of Arcane Surge on you per 15 maximum mana. Okay. Okay, and then number 10 down here, 40% of elemental damage taken recouped as energy shield. Okay, this class sounds pretty interesting. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, next up is Chronomancer. So now and again, skills have 33% chance to not consume a cooldown when used. Unbound Encore grants skill Time Snap. Okay, manipulates time, resetting the cooldown of other skills. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. Ultimate Command grants skill Time Freeze. Release a large wave that stops time for all affected enemies for a short duration. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. There's 3 different skills you can get in here on this one. There's Temporal Rift as well. Passively leaves after images of your recent past. Cast a spell to return to the oldest after image, teleporting you to the location and resetting your life, mana, and energy shit. I tell you what, this sounds like a pretty unique playing kind of class. This sounds interesting. Quick Sound Hourglass. Every 12 seconds, gain 50% more cast speed for 4 seconds. Apex of the moment. Enemies in your presence are slowed by 20%. Circular Heartbeat. 30% of damage taken recouped as life. Recouped effects instead occur over 4 seconds. Okay, interesting. There's only 8 in this one, not 10, but you have three actual skills, which is pretty interesting. Okay, Warrior is up next. We have Stone Skin, 50% more armor from equipped body armor. Sounds pretty good. Earthbreaker, 20% chance for slam skills you use yourself to create aftershocks. Okay, and they've listed all of this stuff here. So Ancestral Boost, Aftershock, Crushing Blow. Oh, these are all these skills that are affected. Okay. Ancestral Empowerment. Every second slam skill you use is ancestrally boosted. Not sure really what that will achieve, but sure. Colossal Capacity. Carry a chest with additional 20 inventory slots. Oh, okay. Interesting. Hulking Form. 50% increase effect of passives. Small passive skills. Increase effect of small passive skills. Are we talking on the passive tree, the little nodes? That could be powerful. Crushing impacts. Your hits are crushing blows. 40% of more damage against heavily stunned enemies. 15% more maximum life. Okay. So it sounds a little bit like it's more playing into the existing skills and stuff that the class have, as opposed to being a total new class for you. Interesting. Okay, so the next one up here is Warbringer. Anvil's weight break armor equal to 10% of hit damage dealt. Imploding impacts, you can break enemy armor to below 0. Oh, interesting. Jade Heritage grants skill encased in Jade. Consume all stacks of Jade to grant a buff for a duration that absorbs all damage from hits, so a maximum based on the amount of Jade consumed, while in case you cannot move or perform actions. Huh, interesting. Answered Call grants skill Ancestral Spirits. Each of your totems will summon an Ancestral Spirit minion to fight for you. If the totem that summoned the minion dies, then the Ancestral Spirit will die too. Wooden Wall, 20% of damage from hits taken from the nearest totem's life before you. Is taken from... Okay. Wooden Wall, 20% of damage from hits is taken from your nearest totem's life before you. Okay. Renly's Training, 40% based chance to block from equipped shield instead of the shield's value. Righto. Okay, Turtle Charm, 30% less block chance and block damage from all hits while shield is not raised. Warcaller's Bellow, corpses in your presence explode when you Warcry. And number 9, Great Wolf's Howl. Ignore Warcry cooldown. Okay, I mean, it sounds okay, but it doesn't necessarily sound like my sort of play style here. So let's move on to the Ranger. Okay, so the Ranger Deadeye is up next. Avidity, I think that says. 30% chance that if you would gain Frenzy charges, instead gain your maximum number of charges. Benefits, okay, Thrilling Chase. Benefits from consuming Frenzy charges for your skills have 50% chance to be doubled. Eagle Eye, you have no accuracy penalty at a distance, point blank. Projectiles deal 20% more hits to targets in the first 3.5 meters of their movement, scaling down with distance traveled. Reach 0% after 7 meters. Far Shot. Projectiles deal 0% more hits, damage to target in the first 3.5 meters of their movement, scaling up with the distance traveled. Okay, so it's like the opposite of the other one. Okay, fair enough. Endless Munitions. Each skill fires additional projectile. Cold Shots. You can now apply additional mark. Gathering Winds. Gain Tailwind on skill use. Lose all Tailwind when hit. Wind Ward. 3% less damage taken per Tailwind. Okay. Tailwind is a stacking buff which grants 1% increased movement speed, 3% increased skill speed, and 15% increased evasion. Rating per stack for 10 seconds, refreshing whenever you gain another stack, maximizing 10 stacks. Okay. Interesting. Ranger was one of the ones that I was considering. I'm not sure. It doesn't sound bad, but I think you're going to have to play around with it to really sort of figure out how good it really is. But having all the evasion and stuff might be an interesting play style. Was movement speed as well? Yeah, movement speed as well. Okay, it's only a little bit though, and you can get, what, 10 stacks? I wonder if there's a way to get above 10 stacks in the game. Okay, we're on the Pathfinder here. Connected Chemistry, 50% more flask charge gain. Enduring Elixirs, life flask effects are not removed when unreserved life is filled. Life flask effects do not queue. Contagious Contamination, the most damaging poison on enemies you kill is spread to other enemies. Oh, this is a poison type class, isn't it? Interesting. Overwhelming toxicity doubles the number of poisons you can inflict on enemies. 35% less poison duration. Okay, we also have this brew concoction down here. We've got 5 different choices, it looks like. So poison, consume charge from your mana flask, throws a bottle that explodes, dealing unarmed lightning damage. Okay, cold, fire, and physical. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. Traveler's Wisdom, gain 5 passive skill points. Relentless Pursuit, your speed is unaffected by slows. Ooh, that could be alright. And Running Assault, 30% less movement speed penalty when using skills while moving. Okay, interesting. Man, between these two for the Archer, I feel like I'm gonna have to like mess around with both of them to sort of test things out and see which one I'd prefer. You guys have any recommendation on the two of these? I don't know. What do you think about the Ranger stuff there? Let's go on to the Witch. Sang oh, how do I say this? Sangumancy. Life remains, grant skill. Drink the blood of your enemies to restore your life. While active, enemies you kill have a chance to spawn a life remnant, and critically hitting a target spawns a life remnant every few seconds. Picking up a life remnant grants you life, which can overflow maximum life. 10% of spell damage leech as life. I mean, life leaf is usually pretty strong in these sorts of games. Your curses have an infinite duration. Blood barbs, 10% of damage as extra physical damage. Elemental damage also contributes to bleeding magnitude. Gore Spike, 1% increased critical damage per 40 life. That could be interesting. Sunder the Flesh, base critical hit chance for spells is 15%. Grasping Wounds, 25% of life lost from hits is prevented. Then that much life lost over 4 seconds instead. Crimson Power Game, additional energy shield from equipped body armor. as extra maximum life. Okay, this is Blood Mage. So Blood Mage certainly sounds interesting. Which would probably be third on my list. On a personal, curiosity sort of level. Let's see. Oh, this one has a lot of a lot of stat stuff in it. Let's have a look. This is the Infernalist. So altered flesh. 20% of cold damage is taken as fire. Okay, sorry. 20% of cold, lightning, and physical is taken. Oh wait, no. The top two are taken as fire damage, and the bottom one taken as chaos damage. Okay, interesting. Reserve 25% of your life, +1 maximum mana per 6 life. 25% of life. Okay, reserves. What does it mean by reserves? That's not really clear. +1 to maximum spirit over 25 maximum life. +1 maximum energy shield per 8 maximum life. Okay, so it must reserve it. So what? You can't use it as life or something. I'm not sure how that would work. Have to mess around with that, I guess. Okay, number 5 is demonic possession. Shapeshift into a demon. So I really like the ones that give you a new or a unique ability that isn't sort of available outside the class. I think those are probably the most interesting. Into a demon, vastly boosting the power of your spells. You gain demon flame every second you remain in demon form. Okay, this class sounds pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. There's more in there. Revert to human form if you reach 1 life. Use a skill that isn't a spell. Reactivate. Okay. Pyromantic Pact. Maximum mana is replaced by maximum infernal flame. Gain infernal flame instead of spending mana for the skill cost. Take maximum life and energy shield as fire damage. Okay. Lose all infernal flame. Okay, yeah, I think we're really gonna have to play around with some of this stuff to really see how it actually works. 10% of infernal flame lost per second if none was gained in the past 2 seconds. Bringer of flame while not on low infernal flame. All damage from you and allies in your presence contributes to ignite chance and magnitude. Seething body while on high infernal flame. You and allies in your presence gain 20% damage as fire damage. Loyal Hellhound Ground skill summon Infernal Hound. Okay, summoning an extra hound too. That sounds pretty cool. Summons a reviving Infernal Hound which ignites enemies near it. The hound takes a portion of damage from hits from you. 20% it looks like. Grinning Immolation. Becoming ignited when you deal a critical hit, taking 15% of your life and energy shield as fire damage per second. Okay. This class sounds pretty interesting. I don't know, which is pretty interesting sounding class here as well. All right, 2 left. Let's see how we go. Mercenary. This is the shooter character, right? He's got guns and grenades and stuff. Okay. This one also does sound pretty interesting to me, not gonna lie. Okay. Weapon mastery. 20 passive points become weapon set skill points. Okay. We've got Culling Strike, Decimating Strike, and Concentration over here. These just grant you the skills, do they? Culling Strike and kill normal enemies if their life is below 30%. Okay, interesting. Hits against a full life enemy, remove 5 and 30% of life. Enemies have less cooldown recovery rate. The lower their concentration, scaling down. Okay. And number 4 is Witchbane. Enemies have maximum concentration equal to 40% of their maximum life. Break enemy concentration on hit equal to 100% of damage dealt. Enemy regain 10% of concentration every second if they haven't lost concentration in the past 5 seconds. No mercy, deal up to 30% more damage to enemies based on their missing concentration. Obsessive Ritual, Grand Skill, Sorcery Hand, Wand. Ward? No, Ward. It says Ward. I've got to check my vision here. Passively manifests a protective barrier which takes elemental damage from hits for you until depleted. The barrier instantly recharges to its full value a short time after it stops taking damage and fully depleted. Okay, we have Celis Inquisition as well. 10% chance of enemies you kill to explode, dealing 100% of the maximum life as physical damage. Chance is doubled against undead and demons. 50% increased chance of sorcery ward. Okay, that's cool. I mean, Witchhunter does sound interesting, don't get me wrong. Not sure if it'd be my starter class, though. I don't know. Okay, we have a Gemling Legionaire. 10% quality of all skills. Okay. How does the quality work? Is that for our skill gems that we're leveling them up? Is there a quality rating like that? Okay, implanted gems, +1 level to all skills. Okay, maybe that's the skill gem thing I was thinking. Oh, what is quality then? Is there a different quality rating as well? Advanced, how do I say this one? Tormaturgy. I probably butchered that. 30% less cost of skills. Skill gems have 30% more attribute requirements. Oh, interesting. Grants. Okay, integrated efficiency grants 3 additional skill slots. Gem studded. You can now use 2 copies of the same support gem in different skills. We've got the infusion, +1 to maximum cold, fire, and lightning. Interesting. Adaptive capability, attribute requirements of gems can be satisfied by your highest attribute. Ooh. Inherent bonus from intelligence, strength, and okay, so this one seems to be all about your skill gems, which is pretty cool to have a class like that. Again, I'm not sure if it would be my first choice though. Okay, last but not least is the monk. Monk is like another melee class, I think, from memory, but has some elemental stuff going on as well, I think. Let's go through. Okay, lead me through grace. Gain 1 spirit every 6 energy shield, 1 spirit for every 15 evasion rating, and cannot gain spirit from equipment. Okay. And protect me from harm. Evasion rating also grants physical damage reduction, 40% less evasion rating. Grants a skill meditate, channels to recharge energy shield. You can overcharge your energy shield up to double its normal maximum. Channeling ends when you take damage or your energy shield is doubled in its normal maximum. The skill cannot be used if your energy shield is already doubled or doubled its normal maximum, or you have no maximum energy shield. Okay. I am the Blizzard. 10% of damage as extra cold damage on freezing enemies. Create a chilled ground. 10% of damage as extra lightning. Okay, that sounds like a similar sort of one. And then we have grant skill Unbound Avatar. Gain an Unbound Fury by inflicting elemental ailment on hits on enemies. Once you reach maximum Unbound Fury, consume it to become unbound for a duration, vastly augmenting your skill elemental prowess. Meta skill gems gain 35% more energy. So what is a meta skill gem? what category is that? Is that the actual skill that, or that they used to call them support gems, didn't they? Oh, meta skills. Oh no, these are not the gems. Okay, these are, what are these from the passive tree then? I'm not 100% sure on that. Sunder my enemies. Critical hits ignore non-negative enemy monster elemental resistances. Okay. And scatter them to the winds. Grant skill elemental expression. Trigger elemental expression on melee critical hit. Creates a fiery explosion, an arcing bolt of lightning, or an icy wave projectile. The chance for explosion is proportional to the strength. For a bolt, proportional dexterity, and the other one for intelligence. Okay. It does sound like an interesting class. Again, not sure it would be my first choice here. Okay, last and not least, but certainly not least, is Acolyte of Chayula, if I'm getting that right. Mana Leech is instant. Ooh. Maximum chaos resistance. Chaos resistance is doubled. You cannot recharge energy shield. Mana Leech also, Mana Leech effects also recover shield. Okay, energy shield. That's interesting. Reality rending. Okay. Chance of damage with hits, extra chaos damage. Okay, why is there 3 different levels in here? Where's number 4? Doesn't really say. Into the breach. Creates a breach around you, allowing you to see nearby flames of Chayula. You are considered to be in a breach while this skill is active. Lucid dreaming effects and duration of flames and Chayula on you is doubled. Okay. Embrace the darkness. Remove all spirit. Base maximum darkness is 100. For each life or energy shield lost to damage, reserve 1 darkness instead of possible darkness. Reservation lasts for 10 seconds. +5 to maximum darkness per level. And then we have the last 2 down here. Gain 1% of damage as extra chaos damage per 20 unreserved darkness. And then inner silence, 50% reduced darkness reservation duration. Okay. Okay, so I guess now the question is, what do we want to start with? So, the 2 that I originally was thinking was either the Sorceress or the Ranger. I think Stormweaver probably would be my choice for the Sorceress here. I like the idea of just spamming my elemental storms everywhere. It sounds pretty fun. The Chronomancer did sound kind of interesting too with the time stuff. So I don't know, both of these sound pretty fun, and this one probably sounds like a bit more of a unique play style maybe compared to some other RPGs I've played before. So that sounds interesting. Warrior, I don't think we're gonna do Warrior. He's not necessarily my number one sort of choice. Now, Ranger was the other one I was initially thinking. Um, I'm not sure which one of these two I go. I like the idea of poison. But I'm not sure how the flask stuff would really go. Um, this one does sound interesting, but I would have to sort of play around with it to really see how powerful it is. Some movement speed and evasion stuff sounds like it could be a really fun playstyle as well, though. And probably the third one that is most interesting to me is the Witch here. Both of these do sound pretty cool. The demon form stuff, the Infernalist, the Fire Witch sounds pretty cool, but the Blood Mage also sounds pretty interesting. Mercenary does sound pretty cool, like a shooter type. Again, probably not going to be my first choice, I would say. I don't know. And the Monk, yeah, Monk, probably not my first choice. Out of these three, I don't know, guys, let me know if you have a suggestion for what class you think I should play first, what ascendancy we should check out when we jump into Path of Exile. Let me know with a comment down below. We are coming at it from a new player's perspective here, so we'll see how we go. Guys, thanks for tuning into the video. Hope you all have a fantastic, amazing day. We are going to stream Path of Exile 2 on launch date, assuming we can even get in with the servers and all that stuff. We'll see how that goes. But we will be streaming it probably throughout the weekend and into next week and stuff. And we'll see how we go with making videos. There's a bit of a lull right now in some of the other games I was covering. So it's a good time for Path of Exile to drop here and... we'll get into it. We'll see how we go. So if you have any ideas for what I should play first, just drop them down below. And with that, guys, I hope you all have a fantastic, amazing day. Take it easy, and I'll catch you in the next video.